Okay, so some announcements have happened. This one, Dominic Cruz versus Rob Font. This one, Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. And finally, Rampage Jackson versus Rashad Evans in a boxing match, which is crazy. But we're going to be going over these three in preparation for UFC coming up this week. It's starting up again, finally. The break was brutal. I've been struggling mentally with the break, but now we're here. And we're just in time for Mackenzie Dern, the main event, a fight night in the Apex, which is just awesome. So, yeah, before we do predictions, we'll do this. We'll go over these three matchups that I think are pretty interesting and that I have some opinions about. Dominic Cruz versus Rob Font is not what I would have done at all. I would not have done this fight for Cruz. It's his retirement fight, allegedly. This is not what I would have done. Rob Font is going to be a gritty fight, a fight that he'll probably lose. And it's just not a huge name for the division that I would love to see Dominic Cruz go out and fight for his final fight. It's just not the name that is super interesting to me. Other names that would seem more interesting is if he would move up to featherweight and maybe fight a Jose Aldo. That would be cool to me. A Figgy even would be kind of cool. A Cody Garbrandt rematch. These kind of fights that have name value and have honestly a potential for him to win. He could beat Cody Garbrandt this time around. I I think he could. This is not the name and it's not winnable. So I just think this is a shame for Cruz. I don't know why he would wait out this long just to fight Rob Font. Like, I don't get that choice at all, but I guess it's what he wanted. I think he might just be getting rushed into it because he's been out for so long, but I just don't in any part of my mind think that I would never have thought that this would be the matchup, and I have no reason to think why they would want it to be. It doesn't make any sense at all. So, yeah, we have this for February 22nd. So that sucks to me because I want Dominic Cruz to have like a super sick fight in his last fight. His last fight sucked. He got knocked out cold by Cheeto, and he's been out for like 2 years or some shit, maybe longer. So this doesn't make much sense, but it's happening. So whatever. Hopefully Dominic Cruz wins. That'd be crazy, but he's not gonna win. Rob Font is actually fucking pretty good. He's like the gatekeeper boss of bantamweight. He's like the first boss you have to fight, and he's not like super easy either. So he will lose, and then he'll retire, and then it'll be super anticlimactic. Sadly, I think that's how it's gonna go. Kind of like how Frankie Edgar went out. But yeah, next, Cejudo versus Song Yadong. I like this matchup actually. I think it's kind of cool. I thought Cejudo would want something else. I thought he might try to go for the Sean O'Malley. Maybe he just doesn't want to sit out for that long, which I understand that. I like Song Yadong a lot. I don't know why. His fight with Ricky Simone was fun for me for some reason, and I've rooted for him for a while. I've rooted for him in pretty much every single one of his fights, even against like Piotr Jan. I'm a big Song Yadong guy, and I do really want him to win this fight. And he has really good takedown defense, so he probably could win this fight. His striking, I would say, is a lot better than Henry Cejudo. I don't know the size difference. I'm sure Song Yadong's bigger, because I don't think there's a human on this earth that Henry Cejudo has a crazy size advantage over. So, I think I'll go with Song Yadong in this matchup. I think he'll be able to outstrike him. He is gritty and good overall. I don't think Henry Cejudo has any momentum at this point. Song Yadong doesn't have much either, but he's also super young, has room to improve. Henry Cejudo is at the end of the road, I would say. And Song Yadong has great takedown defense. I said this already, but it is good. And he stuffed a bunch of takedowns from Ricky Simone, who isn't good, but he has pretty explosive takedowns. And yeah, I'm going to take Song Yadong. I want him to win. I think he'll win. I think he's going to do good going forward in bantamweight. I think he will improve and probably go up the rankings quite a bit. At least that's what I want from him. And I think Henry Cejudo will probably be done after this. I think he probably won't get knocked out, but I think he'll get decisioned out and be done after this. Might be a hot take, but I'm going with the Yadong. Next, this shit. So we have I forget what it's called, but we have the whatever fighters league that is hiring a bunch of retired fighters and having them fight, which is another big thing. But we have this, which is Rampage Jackson versus Rashad Evans in a boxing match set in Albuquerque, New Mexico. It's funny, is all it's going to be. It's going to be a gimmick. It's going to be two unks battling it out. They're both old as fuck. To be honest, it's pretty even matchup, I would say. I don't know why I'm predicting this even, but I'll take Rampage, just probably a little bit bigger, a little bit. I don't know how much Rashad is training. He does look pretty good in this, what I'm seeing right here, in terms of in shapeness, but I don't know. Who cares? This is stupid. I just thought it was funny that they're still fighting in 2025. These two old ass dudes. I'm pretty sure Rashad Evans is booked too with this new fight league that's that's hiring all these retired fighters. So we could see him fighting MMA again, which is weird. Same with like Wanderlay's in it, I guess. Like there's some legends of the game that I watched when I was like 8 that are going to be fighting in this new thing, which is interesting, but they're old as shit. And compared to the modern day age of fighting, they were never good. So, yeah. But one of the first knockouts I ever watched watched the replay of, because I was too young at that point, was Rampage slamming that dude on his head. So, this is interesting. It's not super interesting. It's going to be boring. It's going to be a sparring match. It's going to be a decision. I guarantee it. But this is the battle of the old men. So yeah, those are the announcements that I wanted to go over this week. Not super duper cool, but we're back. So I will be doing predictions for the Mackenzie Dern fight night, probably tomorrow or the next day. And I'm very excited for this year of fights. Very, very excited. I will see you soon.